I feel a number of the points in my previous video were clumsily made, and I wish to clarify here, so I shall.
Welsh!
Hello, or as we say in Wales, mae angen tipyn bach o hunan ddisgybliaeth. Upon rewatching the video from last week, I am concerned that I came across as gratuitously critical and persnickety. Now I wish to express my thoughts more clearly here and refer to your comments as I do so, showcasing my masterful skills of multitasking discursive power. Chris Copeful says, "It's just Eisteddfod yr Urdd, dude. Eisteddfod yr Urdd is like the Tesco lager of Eisteddfodau." Cheap and nasty. I think both parties are missing a very valuable branding opportunity. Eti meddwiaeth. Cawsom Tesco lager I gadw. Can o lager o Tesco yn dist yn fod wedi mynnu yfed. O ces I can arall nech eisiem hi gan fod un yn y ffridge eisoes. A'i grym aniddig yn fy mola. He continues, "Huge kudos for capturing the sense of S4C there, the obvious attempt to look hip coupled with the requisite beauty shots. Well, thank you for appreciating my powers of parody. The kicker for me was that while I appeared to be surrounded by verdant plant life, I was actually surrounded by pickies and brambles. Oh ho ho! Very satirical indeed." Crewband Dude said, "But yeah, their Eisteddfod coverage does tend to be excessive. I'm not much of an Eisteddfodder myself. I'm not sure if I made it clear that I have no problem with Eisteddfodau. I think they are a valuable and enjoyable part of Welsh tradition. The only problem is if you spend your entire time reenacting the past, then that hampers any real progression. Example, when I was in the sixth form, I entered the school Eisteddfod and I put in pieces for the English and the Welsh chairs. Now I came second in both those competitions. Now if I was a lesser man, looking back at that disappointment of having been a failure in both those competitions, you know, that could affect me negatively if I kept biding my time and dwelling on that. That's enough, I think. I'm not good now. David T said, "S4C has the luxury of having the capacity to broadcast anything they like 24 hours a day, but not the budget to fill it. So when they do have something like the Eisteddfod Urdd Genedlaethol, which is relatively cheap to produce, they will use it to max out the hours and save the cash for some other content elsewhere." Reading that comment, I had something of a mini epiphany for me. Like, if you're trying to make a film or write a book, record stupid videos for YouTube, you're creating something and people enjoy that, or experience that at least, on their own time. And that's a completely different kettle of fish to television, because television is like a 24-hour insatiable black hole monster that's just screaming, "Feed me! Ah, feed me! Feed me!" And so that approach means that people start making programs just to be broadcast, to fill in this monster. And that approach means, of course, that some very imaginative, interesting, weird programs get made, and that's great, but it also means that a vast quantity of unimaginative, brain-numbing cack gets made. And more disappointingly, it turns out what a lot of people want is brainless, mind-numbing cack. Just to reiterate, I'm absolutely not talking about Eisteddfodau. And that's when the epiphany hit me. I don't hate S4C, I hate the medium of television. So I'm not such a bad patriot after all, I'm just a techno-snob. The best story ever told said, "Yeah, mae'r stereotypes ar S4C yn hollol twp, ond dwi'n hapus bod y pethau'n bodoli." Well, I have reservations about stereotypes, as I mentioned before, but I am glad that S4C exists. Better a channel that's not quite to my liking than no channel at all. And even though, as I discussed, I now hate the medium of television, I still perversely want to be on it. And so what I can do then is I can get into them, get all friendly, you know, get on it, and then I can bring it down from the inside, and then they'll be sorry, and they'll stop. Also in the comment section, Crewband Dude, or The Dude as I'm going to call him, said, "I'm not sure why there isn't more comedy on S4C. And that is something I had noticed as I looked through the listings, was that there seemed to be something of a dearth of Welsh language comedy programmes. I couldn't find any. And what I would like to know is that because the Eisteddfod knocked them out of the listings, or are there any? Now, I'm something of a comedy nerd, and what I would very much like to do over the next couple of weeks is research any seminal Welsh language comedy programmes, because there must be some. It is ridiculous that there wouldn't be. So this is where you come in. What are the seminal, popular, they were popular, they are popular, what are the big Welsh language comedy programmes that I should check out for a crash course in finding out about Welsh language comedy? Thank you in advance for your help, and thank you in retrospect for the comments on the video last week. Thank you very much. Have a good week.